What exactly are mudra therapies? People think that they're associated with Bharatanatyam, Odissi dance, things like that.
Mudra therapy has basically three principles. One principle is balancing the elements of the body. Second is mudra therapy balance the endocrine system, and mudra therapy balance the chakras. Mudra is not only for the therapeutic purpose. Mudra is also for the personality development, for the self-esteem, for the confidence development, for the spiritual upliftment also, for the self-awareness also.
How does the combination of Ayurveda and mudra work?
Here we are balancing Vat, Pitta, Kapha. Here balancing element. So naturally in long term, if you see, they are interlinked basically. If you are doing mudra with meditation, suppose you are doing mudra with humming, suppose you are doing mudra along with the walking, backward, forward, whatever, all lateral walking, that will be advantage in multiple. And this is called as a Abhay Mudra. This mudra, in addition to Jnana Mudra advantage, will make person fearless. So whenever you are going for the interview, when you are going for the exam, prior to this, if you perform this mudra, your fear for the exam.
So it increases confidence.
Yes, increase the confidence. Your fear will not be there.
So namaste and welcome
Namaste.
Prakash Bhai. Thank you for joining us. So today we have with us Shri Prakash Shah, who is from Ahmedabad and who has been on the board of directors of Troika Pharmaceuticals for several years. It's very interesting that you're here because your job there was quality.
Yeah.
And when you're looking after the quality in a corporate sense for an entire group of pharmaceutical companies, how does that make you involved with something like mudra therapy and medical astrology today, where you have experience of over 3 decades?
See, this mudra therapy is basically because of my health issues. When I was in the late 50, in earlier days I was highly susceptible to cold. Any small amount of the cold air when enter into my nostril, I immediately fall sick. And immediately the symptoms develop like nasal decongestion, throat pains, sporadic fevers, and also frequent sneezing. So it was unbearable up to 7 days. After 7 days, with some medication and with some home remedies, it can be cured. But I lost in between the 7 days. So once upon a time, I visited Haridwar for the Ganga Aarti, and I was on the back journey from the Ganga Aarti, had same symptoms developed. And I was passing by the shop where one gentleman with the bird was sitting over there. He saw me in these symptoms, then immediately called me, "Beta, what you are doing? What is your problem?" So I narrated my problems to him. Then he said, "I have wonderful remedies for you, and that is very ancient remedies for India. So that is a mudra therapy. I am recommending you 2 to 3 mudras, which will help you to resolve your problem minimum within a week." So I accepted his mudra therapy, and after going back to my guest house, I started practicing it. And within 3 days, I found astonishing result. All my problems vanished within 3 days. So now I was eager to meet him again. So I called him to meet him. Then he called me, "You can meet me on Saturday." So again I met him on the Saturday and discussed with the problems I resolved within 3 days. What is the magic in this? That for so many years I was suffering and it resolved within the 3 days. So he said, "This is wonderful therapeutic treasure and it is working on the balancing of the elements of the body." So whatever the problems you have, that were certain elements of the body were imbalanced. And that I have done balance of your elements by the way of the mudra therapy. So I was very eager to learn this therapy. I told him, "Will you be able to teach me the mudra therapy?" He agreed. Then my journey for learning of the mudra therapy started. So I nearly spent 3.5 to 4 years with that Rishi, and learn all the principles of the Mudra therapy. And after 3.5 years to 4 years, he said, now you are confident and you are master in the Mudra therapy. You can practice this Mudra therapy for the unknown people. So I started this Mudra therapy firstly with my Troika employees only, because being a director, my working hours were very long. My day start with 8 a.m. and end 8 p.m. So I started this Mudra therapy to my colleagues, subordinates, and my bosses also. And I got wonderful result. Then my journey continued, and after my retirement, also this journey continued.
What exactly are mudra therapies? Because when we speak of mudras, generally in India also, people think that they're associated with Bharatanatyam, Odissi dance, things like that, or expressive gestures of the hand. How are they therapeutic? How can they help us in ailments and different ways? How do you relieve people of these diseases when they come to see you?
So, Mudra therapy has basically 3 principles. One principle is balancing the elements of the body. Second is Mudra therapy balance the endocrine system, and Mudra therapy balance the chakras. With respect to first principle, we have 5 elements in the body. That is fire, air, space, earth and water. Universe is having also the 5 elements: fire, air, space, earth and water. Here water is 72%, earth is 12%, space is 6%, air is 6% and fire is 4%. When any imbalance is there in the universe, you will find tsunami, earthquake, floods. As we are the miniature of the universe, we have the same element and in the same proportion. So if there is imbalance of the elements in the body, we have certain disease in the body with respect to imbalance of the body. Now how Mudra therapy works? Say we have 5 fingers. So the thumbs represent the fire, this index finger represents the air, this middle finger represents the space, ring finger represents the earth, and the last finger represents the water. Now it is established fact that we have maximum nerves ending at the top of the fingers, that is the fingertips. So any gestures is made on the fingers, then there will be a sensory nerve transformation of corresponding gestures to the brain. Then brain will interpret the sensation received, it will analyze and give appropriate response. And this response is transferred to different organs or endocrine glands through motor nerves. And according to the gestures, the response is transferred. And there may be the increase or decrease in the hormonal problem, then there may be imbalance or balance in the organs, and the disease is cured. This is first principle. Second principle, we have different organs which is targeted by the different chakras. Suppose we have 7 chakras: Muladhara chakra, Swadhisthana chakra, Manipur chakra, then Anha chakra, that is Hriday chakra, then Vishuddhi chakra, then throat chakra. So Vishuddhi is a throat chakra, Anjana chakra and crown chakra. So different organs of our body is attributed to different chakras. It is said that when this chakra become imbalanced, the corresponding organ, either all organ or some of the organ, may get imbalanced, and you may have the disease related to that organ. And we have the mudra available for balancing the chakra. So we can identify, suppose say kidney. Kidney is related to Swadhisthana chakra. So if Swadhisthana chakra is imbalanced, then there may be the problem with the kidney. So kidney disease are there, kidney stone is there, kidney function is impaired, then slow urine, frequent urination. There are so many issues. That means it is the problem of Swadhisthana chakra. So we have mudra for the Swadhisthana chakra. So if we make mudra for the Swadhisthana chakra will get balanced, and once it is balanced, kidney will balance and the disease will go away. So this is the second point.
Principle.
Then third principle is the endocrine gland. So 90% of our body is working under the endocrine gland, means hormones. So we have different endocrine glands and we have different endocrine secretions also. So suppose pancreas is secreting insulin, then pituitary gland is secreting growth hormone, lactating hormone, there are so many hormones. So we will find out what is the disease, and based on the disease we find out it is which gland imbalance. So once we find out the gland imbalance, we will make the mudra with respect to that endocrine gland. Once that endocrine gland is balanced, then corresponding hormones system will be in balance and disease will be cured. So there is total 3 principles. One is balancing the element, then balancing the endocrine gland and balancing the chakra. So you will have a good relief from any other disease.
So it's very important for a person who's practicing this mudra therapy like you to understand the science behind it, to understand the pathology of your patients when they come to you, right? So it's very interesting because of your background in pharmaceuticals and your interest in mudra, the combination, how has that helped? Can you tell us a few case studies that you've had?
My approach is totally different because I know medical astrology also. So generally whenever patient is coming to me for any therapy, if his or her horoscope is available, I will look at the horoscope and I will, before asking him the clinical problems, I will look at the horoscope, then I will identify the disease based on his horoscope, and also I will clinically discuss with him what the problem he has. Once it is established the link between medical astrology finding and clinical finding, we will find out the pathophysiology of the disease. Once pathophysiology of the disease is identified, now we will convert this pathophysiology of the disease into the imbalance of mudra, or into the imbalance of chakra, or into the imbalance of endocrine gland. And accordingly, we will prescribe the mudra to balance their elements, or to balance their chakra, or to balance their endocrine gland. So within a short span of life, maybe it depends on the 4 to 8 weeks or 12 weeks, the disease will be cured based on the elemental balance, or based on the balance of the endocrine gland, or based on the balance of the chakra.
Alright, so this means that there are diseases which today we find challenging, such as fibromyalgia or let's say autoimmune diseases. Do you think such therapies that you are proposing could be helpful even for that?
Yeah, because I have been lucky enough to give great relief to the patient for so many critical diseases for which medical science is still struggling to cure it. So namely, the one is a paralysis. The gentleman, male executive, who has suffered paralysis and was cured within, I think, 45 days. 90% of cure rate.
Wow, just using mudra therapy along with
initially mudra therapy is a complementary therapy.
Okay.
You have to continue this therapy with your existing therapy. And once you find the result in the consultation with the medical profession, you can reduce the dose. Further, if you find complete relief from the problem, you consult again and you can discontinue dose. Now mudra therapy has 2 types of dose. One is a therapeutic dose when the disease is on, and one is a maintenance dose. This will be lifetime. So what is the difference between therapeutic dose and what is a maintenance dose? Therapeutic dose when the disease is on. So the duration of mudra will be for higher time. Once it gets cured, duration of mudra will be for the lesser time. Suppose during the disease is on, that is for the therapeutic purpose. Suppose one mudra is 45 minutes per day. Once the therapeutic dose is over and we are switching over to the maintenance dose, then this 45 minutes will be reduced to 5 minutes per day. But it will be lifelong. You cannot discontinue your mudra therapy. Otherwise, there are the chances that it may reappear.
Okay, so I'm just curious, in case of this gentleman that you tried to work with for paralysis and you had, like you said, in 45 days, amazing results for this person, what mudras did you show him?
I show him mudra, Vayu mudra.
Like, how does it happen?
This is a Vayu mudra,
Okay,
Vyan mudra,
right.
and Jnana mudra.
Interesting. And how long did he have to hold it in a day when he was
Each
curing?
mudra 45 minutes a day, either at a stretch or in a fragmented way, means 15 minutes 3 times a day.
Okay, and on both hands?
Both hands. When the mudra is of single hand, it is to be done for both hands. When mudra involves 2 hands, there is no need to do means for 2 hands.
Wow, that's interesting. How, I mean, for me, I think today we are seeing challenges of health, even not just when one person falls sick, but even to maintain one's, let's say, stamina, energy. People are finding it very difficult. People want to promote their health, they want to become better, or they want to prevent diseases. In that case also, does mudra therapy help?
Mudra is for preventive purpose also and for therapeutic purpose also. In preventive, in medical science, we is called as a prophylactic purpose. So it is a preventive purpose. So if you don't have the disease, there are also mudras, but it will for the lesser duration. Once it become therapeutic mudra, it is for the longer duration. And not only the paralysis, I have cured means fibromyalgia. The one executive, male executive, working male executive has fibromyalgia, and this disease is a medical challenge. So this was also cured within 6 weeks. Complete cure, 100% cure. Then there is autoimmune disease, rheumatoid arthritis. That means lady entrepreneur in Ahmedabad. She was cured within 45 days. Actually, she has so many pain that I am making prayer to the God. Either you cure me or you take me with you.
Wow.
So that pain has gone within 45 days. Then under is a basically stammering and stuttering speech. The male student was appearing for UK visa, but because of the stammering and stuttering speech, he was rejected every time. So he came to me. Then I give him mudra for the stammering and stuttering speech. So within six weeks, again all his problem was resolved. He appeared for the UK visa, and now he is in UK only.
Wow, so it's not just health problems, it's life problems
Life
that we can solve using this. Does it also work for personality disorders?
Mudra is not only for the therapeutic purpose, mudra is also for the personality development, for the self-esteem, for the confidence development, for the spiritual upliftment also, for the self-awareness also. I am conducting so many workshops at the corporate level, not only for the therapeutic mudra. In addition to therapeutic mudra, the mudra for personality development, to increase the work efficiency also, because corporate people are interested in increasing the work efficiency. Then self-awareness, then meditations also, personality development, self-esteem, self-confidence. So mudra is everywhere.
How are these mudras derived? Like, how would you be able to treat? Is it per patient, different mudras, different prescriptions, or there are mudras which are common to everybody?
See, there are common mudras for different disease. This will also works. But when the patient come to me, I have to check first is medical astrology. So what are other combinations? Sometimes, the combination are such that the final clinical problem may not be related to the clinical reports. It may be related to some others. Say for example, I have one patient who has short breathing. So generally we understand that this short breathing is because of the asthma. But this was not because of the asthma. When I see the medical astrology, I found that there is problem of the GERD, gastric acid reflux disease. So once there is GERD, then there are all the chances that your windpipes get inflamed. Once windpipe gets inflamed, the air passage get narrowed down. So it results into the short breathing. So if you treat with the asthmatic drugs, it will not get cured. But if you treat with GERD, means mudra for the GRD, it will immediately get cured. So it is a combination of medical astrology and mudra therapy and my anatomy and physiology.
Yes, of course, because you have a kind of background check of 2, 3, 4 different types which you do with a patient before prescribing the mudra, following up with them. So it's interesting to see that your approach is very different from people who normally practice mudra therapy, right?
Because generally, mudra, I think a person who has a medical background, either pharmacist or medical profession or physiotherapist or Ayurvedic doctor, they are well versed with the anatomy physiology and they are well versed with the pathophysiology of the disease. So they can treat in a better way than the persons who are not knowing the anatomy physiology.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. Prakash bhai, I'm very curious to know also a little bit. So many of our people from Heartfulness are very curious because we know that you were also at college with Daaji, our guide.
Sir.
So can you tell us a little bit about your background with him and how today you find yourself at Kanha Shantivanam teaching us and taking us into workshops on mudra therapy, also providing time and service to consult at our Kanha Wellness for people who come to seek your help for mudra therapy and medical astrology. How did this come about, your association with Daaji and coming here today?
I have 5 decade plus association with Daaji. Since 1974, we are in touch with each other. So we have golden days of college and hostels from 1974 to 1980. Again, we have association during my USA. But from college days, I have seen him clarities in purpose, purity in characters, and compassion in relation. From the college day, I have seen with him, and we enjoyed company with him. And I am feeling very privileged to have 50 years association with him.
Right. So he was a good student.
Yeah, he was a good student. He was gold medalist in MPharm.
Wow. So you used to discuss all these things even in those days about astrology, about all your findings?
I have predicted for Daaji in 2002 that he will be a global spiritual leader. At that time, he was not ready to believe it. But I think in 2011 or 2012, he was declared that he will be a successor of Chariji. Then he immediately called me.
Yes.
So you have proved correct. Means you have predicted my findings, astrological finding has come true.
Yes, because many of us who learned medical astrology and mudra therapy from you, it has been because Daaji has been inspiring us to go towards you and introduced you to the Heartfulness community. So yes, your privilege has now become our privilege.
So
True.
I have also shares some of the mudra with him for his health issue, and I have frequent discussion very recently, 3-4 months back also. He is fine with the mudra, and many of the problem is not as present after the performing religiously the mudra therapy.
Interesting. Are there any side effects of these mudras? Suppose I do a mudra which is not prescribed for me or don't do it properly. Is there any other effect
No,
it can
mudra
have?
doesn't have any side effect.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So when one is learning mudras, is it better to go to a person who's practicing mudras, or can one learn from a book also?
It is better to learn from the person who is practicing the mudra. So first you have to understand the basic principle of mudra. Otherwise there are so many books available, internet is also available. You can learn from it also. But this is not the right way to introduce mudra therapy for helping others. First you learn, then you can start learning from the internet, learning from the books, and so on.
I was also quite curious about the fact that you have a very interesting background also in Ayurveda.
Yeah.
So how does this ancient science of Ayurveda, which today in all over the world after the Ministry of Ayush in India has been supporting, pushing Ayurveda to be recognized at a global level, how does the combination of Ayurveda and mudra work?
See, Ayurveda works on the Vat, Pitta and Kapha dosha. Vat means
Air.
is a combination of air and space element. Pitta is a combination of fire and water element. And Kapha is a combination of earth and water element. So indirectly mudra therapy is correlated to the Ayurvedic science only. So here we are balancing Vat Pitta Kapha, here balancing element. So naturally in long term, if you see, they are interlinked basically. Ayurvedic remedies and mudra remedies are interlinked basically.
Right. And one has to follow it rigorously. Like suppose I do mudras for a few days according to my therapist and I drop a few days. Will it have, is it an easy way to work or does one have to be very disciplined about it?
Whenever it is prescribed for stipulated time, one has to religiously follow. If it is therapeutic mudra, then one has to follow it religiously for stipulated time, for stipulated days. Once you are getting recovered, then you can miss it for 1 or 2 days or maybe for 1 week. But during the therapeutic course, it is always necessary and mandatory also. You follow it religiously.
Right. So a certain amount of discipline application is required. Another thing I would like to ask you is, I have noticed that you have never charged anything for the work you have done in your life. Even when you come to Heartfulness, your time is a contribution, a service to the people. What is the philosophy that pushes you to do this?
Actually, my philosophy, ice cream also, and you know candle also. What is the philosophy of the ice cream? Enjoy before you melt.
Enjoy before it melts, yeah.
And what is the philosophy of candle? Give light before you melt. So I believe in the candle philosophy. So give light before you melt. So one has to transfer ice cream philosophy to the candle philosophy.
That's nice, very good. And what is your vision? What would you like to achieve?
Actually, I think that everybody should know the mudras, and that is the reason I am not charging anything for the mudra therapy. When I started, after my retirement in May 22, I was thinking that I should charge. Then one thought come into the mind that I have to charge exorbitantly because free has no value. So, but the second thought comes, if I charge exorbitantly, 80% of the people will be deprived of this therapy.
Yeah.
Because, so finally I decided I should not charge, and so that majority of the people can come to me. And initially my approach was, in the small gathering also, in the apartment association also, I started teaching Mudra Therapy in the Sunday morning. So I have teach Mudra Therapy to so many apartments in the Sunday morning, because Sunday morning is in Ahmedabad generally it is free. So I started teaching them. They were also happy with the Mudra Therapy. Then very small yoga classes also. I have a Tattva Bodh class and so many classes. I have teach them the Mudra Therapy. And now majority in the physiotherapy also, physiotherapy center also.
Okay.
I have teach them because I have taught them, you use the Mudra Therapy and you make the protocol of your physiotherapy by incorporating the Mudra. Because Mudra can be done at any time. While walking, while sleep, means when you are relaxing, while watching TV. So whenever the hands are free, why don't you make the use of advantage of the mudra? So many of the, one center at the Kankaria is there, they have incorporated the mudra therapy. And I think I have conducted medical astrology at Kanha also, and one of your doctors at Kanha also is first checking the horoscope and then he starts the actual treatment. He's a dentist and then he starts the dental treatment. So this is good for me that people are following.
Very nice. Yes, of course. Okay, so we heard you speak about medical astrology and how you check a person's horoscope before you start even thinking about the physiopathology of this person. For me, how would you tell people who are skeptics? Because I know many people think astrology is a matter of belief, it's, in the past and it is not scientific. How do you tell them? How do you talk to them and tell them that this is something that you are using? What do they say to it to you?
Generally, we discuss with them. First of all, when we talk to them, we ask them to provide the horoscope. And once I see their horoscope, I will identify the disease and I will confirm with them whether this disease is with you or not. So, to the same great surprise, it is informed that I have the same disease. So, once the disease is identified, then he start believing that this is a good science, this is the science of probability or science of indication. So, for me, it is not a problem because I am coming from the paramedical background and I have done 4 decades of job in the pharmaceutical industry, and my end job was a quality head. So when people are coming to me, though they don't have the doubt about my competency in medical astrology and the Mudra therapy also. So that is the greatest advantage to me.
It has been an advantage, but like I was thinking, astrology is such a controversial subject for many people, even now. Especially here in India, it's still accepted, but if you look at the West, it is seen as something that'll just predict, your day, how will it go, how will your finances be, or how will your relationships be. How does medical astrology differ from normal astrology?
See, normal astrology, actually whenever you are supposed to predict for medical astrology, the horoscope remains the same. But we have 12 houses in the horoscope. So the 12 houses represent different things as far as materialistic astrology is concerned. When we are looking to the medical astrology, all these 12 houses represent different things. Suppose, say, in the materialistic house, the first house, there are 12 houses. First house represents the confidence of the person. Overall personality, natures and everything. Second house represents the movable property of the substance. Third house, his relation with the sibling. Fourth house, his relation with the mother especially. Fifth house is relation with the progeny happiness. Sixth house, how his or her enemy are strong or not. Seventh house is related to marital status. Eighth house is related to unexpected gain, unexpected loss. Ninth house is related to fortune. So whether your fortune is good or fortune is bad. Then 10th house is related to house of profession. What is your profession? What your profession indicates? Whether you are a IT specialist or you are a medical ground specialist or you are an engineering specialist. Then 11th house is again house of income and 12th house is house of moksha. So this is about the materialistic astrology. Now coming to the medical astrology, first house represents the central nervous system. Second house represents the buccal cavity. Third house represents the respiratory tract. Fourth house represents the cardiac system. Fifth represents the digestive system. Sixth represents the backache, means any spinal cords and everything. Seventh represents the urinary tract system. Eighth represents the reproductive organs. Ninth represents the thigh. 10th knee. 11th from knee to ankle, and 12th is the feet. Now, if you are looking the materialistic astrology, then you have to consider which zodiac is there in different house. Same way, zodiac is representing different in materialistic astrology and different in the medical astrology. Same zodiac may be representing means happiness, means unhappiness, and same may be representing different organ of the body. Suppose say Jupiter is there. Jupiter is targeting pancreas. Suppose Sun is there. Sun is targeting liver and bones. Then suppose Mars is there. Mars is related to blood, muscle. Saturn is there. Saturn is related to nerves. Then Mercury is there. It is related to neurological disorders. Then Moon is there. Means your mental condition. So in this way, the planet in medical astrology is differing to our body system, and in materialistic astrology is representing our worldly possession. So when we are seeing the materialistic astrology, we have to see about the worldly possession, and when we are seeing the medical astrology, We have to see the different disease, different organs, and a combination of the organs, combination of zodiacs and planets, combination of planets, zodiac in the house. So it is a very complex science. Actually,
so you're saying that when you look at the horoscope of a person, you can make out
yes.
whether they're going to have digestive issues, or
Yes,
they are
yes.
having digestive issues, or they've had digestive issues depending on their age.
That is big. See, when we see the horoscope, we can find out that the person is prone to certain disease.
Okay.
Now, the onset of the disease can be identified by the Vimshottari Dasha. So, based on the Dasha, we can identify that what will be the timing of the onset of the disease.
So you mean to say the position of the planets, the planetary, the constellations?
When we are born, there is one set of the planetary position.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all planet is constantly moving.
Yes.
So we have to find out the interaction of the moving planet with our birth planet.
Planets,
And
okay.
also we have to find out the Vimshottari Dasha. So by combining the prediction of Vimshottari Dasha and combining the action of the interaction of planet, we can find out the timing of the disease. Means timing of the onset of the disease.
The probable timing. So in a way, it's a preventive measure that you're taking. You're being able to see, and you tell your patients that this could happen, which means they could lessen the effect of that disease with whatever you prescribe.
Yeah. See, whenever it is mentioned that this disease is going to happen, I cannot make it zero. But I can listen the intensity. So if I give the Mudra therapy or other any complementary therapy as a prophylactic measure, then that disease will have the very less intensity. At the same time, what we are doing, we are making him very confident, we are increasing his willpower. So disease is there, but feeling will not be there.
Oh, so they'll be prepared for it,
Yeah,
and they'll be able to deal with the disease better. Give us an example, like when has that happened, like in anybody you've seen, for example?
See, in my case only, I had a severe problem of the backache in August 21.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time I was serving as director corporate affairs in Troika.
Mm-hmm.
So it was been severe problem. I was not able to walk more than 5 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, there was a tingling sensation in the legs, and I have to stop my walking and sit down somewhere else. Now, I have the confidence that I will be able to, because I have already predicted that I am prone to backache. But at the same time, I have predicted that I will not get operated. So, from my backache, I contacted Lilavati Hospital, Bombay Hospital, and they said, your clinical finding is terrific, your disc herniation is there, and whenever you are tired of your problem, come to us, you will be operated. So I took the decision, let me take retirement and give full faith in Mudra therapy. So I took retirement in May 22, and I started my Mudra therapy from August 22, very religiously. And by February 23, I was free of all backaches.
So no more pain,
no
problems.
more pain, as on today also. But I am doing maintenance Mudra.
Wonderful. So it worked in your case, so I don't
Yeah.
see why it shouldn't work for others. Very good. That was amazing. Is there anybody else, any other example you want to give?
Yeah, one example is that lady lady entrepreneur who has autoimmune disease. Actually, she has rheumatoid arthritis. And I said she was praying to the God that either you reduce my pain or take me with you.
It was so severe, the
It
pain.
was so severe. So actually her disease was not diagnosed, because when there is autoimmune disease and routine arthritis, the mudra is different. So I told her that if you follow this within 4 to 6 weeks, I actually foreseen that it will require 8 to 10 weeks. But I cannot say that it will take 8 to 10 weeks. I have to make it shorter duration. So I told her that within 4 weeks, you will be at least 80% get cured. So he has the hope.
Okay, that's
That
interesting.
it is now only 4 weeks of the pain. So she started religiously, and to my great surprise, I was foreseeing that it will take 8 to 10 weeks, but within the 4 weeks, 90% of her pain has vanished.
How do you make the Kaleshwar
For the
Mudra?
Kaleshwar Mudra, you join tip of both the middle fingers
Okay.
of your hand, both the hand. Now fold the fingers of both the hands, remaining 3 fingers. Join the knuckle of this folded fingers. Now join the tip of thumbs of the both the hands.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this mudra shall be placed near the chest. The thumb shall be kept near the chest.
Okay. The level
So
of the chest.
do it for at least 45 minutes per day, but you can fragment it in the 50 minutes 3 times a day.
So 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, and this.
This.
All right, that's interesting. Do we have to press hard when we do it?
No,
or we just
we
hold
don't have to press it. Just we have to make the touch
connection?
of the tips.
Fantastic. So just connecting. Great. So what can participants expect to learn when they come for the Mudra workshop?
Means participants want to learn. Actually, generally the people are coming for Mudra workshop to have the relief of their problems,
Yes.
mostly. So they generally do not look at the whole session. In between the session, they ask for their problems. So it is not the right thing. Actually, they should first go through the whole session, because there may be that their problem maybe at the end of the day, or maybe on the end of the second day, maybe of the third day. So this causes the disturbances in delivering the lecture. So I always tell them, whatever the questions you have, we will have question at the end of the session.
Very
So that
nice.
will first let me cover my session, and if you have any problems, we will have discussion at the end of the session. And this is the right way.
Fantastic. So they can actually not just discover for themselves, but learn the whole art and
Oh.
science of Mudra. Yeah, so if there's one misunderstanding or myth that people have, that Mudra is only it's not for therapy, or say astrology is only for people who believe in it, what is the one thing that you want to tell them about Mudra and medical astrology?
See, as far as medical astrology is concerned, generally people come on the last stage to us, because they have tried.
Everything else, when nothing works, let's go for this.
So our problem, our issue become very easy.
Yes.
They don't come, means they are not coming on the first phase. So most of the time, 95% people come after trying allopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, maybe also other alternative therapy. So people are not knowing Mudra therapy much, and it is not practice in India also. So I have conducted so many workshops, and majority of the time I have heard that they have not known about anything of the Mudra. This is the first time they are knowing about the Mudra. Even today also, one year Abhyasi came to us. I have never heard about the Mudra, and I think I have missed the golden opportunity to learn it.
Well, we did tell them, so yes, they should probably be aware that we are going to hold more classes, and then definitely we'll learn, yes. So one thing I'm noticing, that people often think that Mudra therapy comes from Vedic times. The rishis in India discovered these amazing ways of healing people through just using their fingers. Now imagine today's diseases. We have ADHD, we have autism, which has been recently declared by the US as a pandemic. We have PCOS, we have so many different diseases which probably didn't even exist at that time. So do you think that Mudra therapy can be used for such diseases?
Yeah, so I'm giving you a very good example, because I was a faculty member for the school which has 99 students. I was faculty member for 1.5 years for the specially challenged student. So they have so many students of different types. One is autism, one is a cerebral palsy, then ADHD, so many people. So what I advise them, so 99 people I cannot teach them mudra at a time. So I ask them to divide group of 10. The first group will have a less effect of any problem. Second group will have more effect than the first group. Third will have more effect than the second group. So divide the group. Then I told them that I will need the cooperation of the teacher as well as the parents, because I will not be able to help them to perform the mudra. So they agree with me. The school name is a Visesh School, Gandhinagar. And for 1.5 years, I teach them the mudra to the first group, basically, because for these people, the progress is very slow. So after the 6 months, I take review of the teacher as well as their parents. And it was a very promising review. They said that our wards have improved in concentration. Now at least he or she is believing what we are saying, which was not the case earlier. And your teachers also said to me that now they are more concentrating. And one fellow was recalled to a greater extent, and I made him the leader. Now I asked him, you make these people, means 9 people, means 9 students, the mudra. So I have seen that after 6 months, that fellow was doing mudra therapy to remaining 9 people, 9 students.
Oh, interesting.
So this was the progress.
Wow, that is pretty amazing. Yes, yes. So of course, can you tell us a few mudras that we could use in everyday life for our everyday problems?
See, now majority the problem is related to stress. Stress in earlier days was a different. Stress in the present days is different.
Very different.
So in earlier days we have stress because of the wild animal, because of uncertain terrain, and at that time, if such type of stress is there, then there is a fight or flight response. Either you fight with the animal or you run away. But nowadays, stress is over competitive environment. Every time the wish to have a more and more worldly patience, then to look better than my neighbor, to look better than my colleague, to look better than my subordinate.
Performance issues, yes.
So the flight and fight response is not appropriate. So what will happen? This will result in the acute stress. Once the stress continue, this acute state will result in the chronic stress. And once this chronic stress is developed, there are all the chances that it will target the immunity system. And if the immunity system is targeted, it either become overactive or it become weak. Once it become overactive, then what will happen? There are all the chances that autoimmune disease. When the system become overactive, they cannot differentiate it between the self and the non-self. So they target their own cells. So that is autoimmune disease. And when it becomes weak, there may be the inflammation, including the cancer also. If it is not the part of immune system, then other system affected is a imbalance between the hypothalamus, brain system, pituitary gland. So once there is an imbalance in these 3 types of the system, there will be psychosomatic disease like blood pressure, backache, then so many psychosomatic disease. So stress is the main constraint now for the disease to appear in the body. So basically, majority of the time and most of the time, we always prescribe, apart from that mudra of the disease, one mudra of the stress relief also.
Like,
There are basically this is the standard mudra, Gyan mudra.
Gyan Mudra is a stress relief mudra.
Stress relief. It tranquilizes the mind.
Okay, that's interesting. So when we are meditating, we can hold this,
Yeah.
right? Because like you were saying, mental, I would say a disease always originates in the mind and then
Yeah.
moves on. So when we do heartfulness,
Mental hygiene is more important than physical hygiene.
yes, that's what you would say, right? Very nice. And I was seeing how yesterday you were trying out our freshly minted stress relief strips, and you were telling our patients for acidity how to use it. So along with the mudra, if we use this acidity strips
Any additional
or sleep strips,
medication in either Ayurveda or homeopathic or any additional means alternative therapy will always be benefited. And if you are doing mudra with pranayam, suppose if you are doing mudra with meditation, suppose you are doing mudra with humming, suppose you are doing mudra along with the walking, backward, forward, whatever, all lateral walking, that will be advantage in multiple.
okay, wow, so perfect. So I think this makes a proper combination, heartfulness meditation plus mudras, which will give a result which can affect not just the heart but the body and the mind as
Yes.
well in multiple ways, so
Yes,
that
yes.
one can treat oneself, relieve ourselves of diseases, but also bring a relief to the mind and solve several issues of a person at the same time, right?
Yes.
And I know that you've written a book also called Mudras, which Heartfulness has published.
I do not impose copyrights on what I say
Yes,
or
that.
what what PDF I provide. I feel that everybody has right to copy.
Amazing. So those open source work that you've done, sir. How did you like Kanha Shantivanam?
Yeah, it means Kanha, whenever we are coming to Kanha, it is a totally calm. Tranquility of mind is there, which is means gained by the mudra.
Fantastic. Is there any age limit for mudras?
Yeah,
Anybody
mudra-
can do it, or children?
No, mudra can do means mudra can be done by anybody. There is no age limit. Means child from age of the 5, because prior to 5 is not able to do the mudra, but anybody can do it. The cure rate of the mudra depends on certain factors. One is the age of the person, one is the age of disease also. Second, third is the severity of the disease. So whatever I have given 4 to 6 weeks is generally for the disease which is in a middle stage, not on the higher stage or not on the lower side. If this stage is on the higher side, it will require from 4 to 6 weeks to 8 to 10 weeks.
Okay. I've been seeing that we had also held classes to teach. You have been teaching our Heartfulness Omega School in Chennai.
Yes.
The teachers to learn mudras for personality disorders and mentally challenged children. So I think that there is a lot we can do for children in the education sector also, to help teachers and parents learn these different mudras and teach it to their children.
For the students, there is a very good mudra. That is a Gyan mudra. There are different types of Gyan mudra. Gyan mudra will enhance the memory, will also empower the voluntary and involuntary muscles, and it also gives the tranquility of the mind. So when there is a hyperactive student, it will also help them to make to the normal stage. Then there is another mudra. This is a Gyan mudra. Then one mudra, modified mudra of Gyan, is a Purna Gyan mudra. So here special pose is there. We have to keep left hand in Gyan mudra, either on the thigh or on the knee, and right hand in Gyan mudra parallel to the shoulder. So it will provide all the advantage of Gyan mudra. In addition, the cognitive function of person, maybe any person, child, adult, even old age person, will improve to so many fold.
Okay.
Generally, this is helpful for the innovators. You can get innovative idea. And this mudra particularly helpful in the mental constipation of the person. So we have so many mental constipation, emotional constipation.
You mean say when people are blocked
Yeah.
emotionally, mentally? Well, yeah, that's interesting.
And third mudra, which is a also modified Jnana mudra, that is mudra, both the hands, means right and left hand, in mudra should be parallel to shoulder. And this is called as a Abhay mudra. This mudra, in addition to Jnana mudra advantage, will make person fearless. So when you are going for the interview, when you are going for the exam, prior to this, if you perform this mudra, your fear for the exam.
So it increases confidence.
Yes, increase the confidence. Your fear will not be there. You will be self-confident.
Children I see also are very emotionally turbulent. At one point in time they'll be happy, suddenly something will happen, they'll become sad. So I see a lot of roller coaster in their emotions. Is there a mudra they can perform for that?
Yeah, these are the mudras. Actually, I have observed this. This mudra give the brain wave coherence. That means we have 4 types of brain wave. One is alpha, beta, theta, and delta. So beta is a conscious level. Alpha is a gateway between conscious and subconscious level. Theta is a subconscious level. And delta is a unconscious level. So this Jnana mudra, if you want to have the mental balance, there should be combinations of alpha, beta, and theta. Some part of the alpha, some part of beta, some part of theta. So this Jnana mudra will make the brain coherence.
Okay.
So that child will be calmed down.
Very interesting. Okay. What are the different mudras for children? One we saw was...
That is a Jnana mudra.
So this is Jnana mudra. You have to show it.
This is Jnana mudra. Then Mudra Jnana mudra. Abhay mudra. Then also there is a Brahma mudra. So keep this thumb at the base of either ring finger or at the base of the middle finger. Fold all the fingers. Now join the knuckles of 4 fingers and keep this near the navel. This is called as a Brahma mudra. This will rejuvenate whole body. This is applicable to us also, and this is better for the children also.
So how do they use this for? So this rejuvenation for the whole body will help them to be more energized, will be against depressive states or sadness or loneliness that they may feel. That's very interesting.
One of the another mudra, important mudra is the Naga mudra.
Show that.
Nag mudra. So keep this hand in diagonal, then keep one of the thumb on the middle of the underarm. Now keep second thumb on diagonally on the first thumb. This is Nag mudra, snake mudra. So what is the important one? This is beautiful for the children. So you know the peculiarity of the snake. So peculiarity of the snake, that snake has a poor vision. Even though he can identify enemies when we are approached to nearer to him. So it has a sixth sense. He utilizes his tongue. On the basis of the tongue, he identifies outside temperature. And on basis of the outside temperature, he can find out that the person is coming nearer to me or any object is coming nearer to me. So this is a special skill of the snake. So when you perform this mudra, special skill in the child will get developed.
Oh, you mean to say special perceptions, extra perceptions, and a child will become very acutely aware and intelligent.
Yes.
Very interesting.
And that is what called as a Nag mudra.
Okay. And Makar mudra?
Makar mudra is basically to have the very willpower, strong willpower, then enthusiasm like this. Because you know the crocodile is Makar. Whenever he is sleeping, he is always dormant. Whenever you wake up, he has a tremendous energy. So based on this Makar mudra is divided. Here, what is to be done? This right hand thumb is kept on the left hand palm in the middle position. Now, this on the left hand, we have to make the Prithvi Mudra. So this is Makar Mudra.
Interesting. Okay.
Or a crocodile Mudra.
So determination, perseverance,
And a high energy.
high energy, which is of very lacking in children.
Suppose you are falling sick and you are recovering from the sickness. So you require high energy to fight the disease. So immunity will get increased.
All right. And then, of course, there is the famous Prana Mudra.
Prana Mudra is a very means mudra of the choice.
And
For
what?
all the disease.
So for children, when we use Prana Mudra, what effect will we have on them?
Prana Mudra again. Because Prana Mudra will impart the immunity, then it is good for the inflammation also. And it retards the blockage in the blood vessel in any part of the body. So three very important function of the Prana Mudra.
And the personality effect or effect it has on children when we use it in school, this one?
Personality is to be done with the Jnana Mudra. Means
That is more the Gyan Mudra.
Purna Jnana
And then Hakini Mudra?
Hakini Mudra again is all this mudra is targeting the brain basically, nervous system. This is good mudra for the memory purpose.
Okay.
So you may have seen many auditors and many executives and corporate executives. Always, whenever they are talking, they will be, by default, they will be in this mudra. So that means they are recollecting certain things. So this will help them to recollect past memory or recollect something. So it is very good mudra for the memory.
Excellent. Mrigi Mudra.
Mirgi Mudra is basically for the epilepsy. So this is Mirgi Mudra. So it is to be done with the both hands. Make slightly this two hands, means middle finger and the ring finger in bending position, and touch with thumb the second ring of this both of the fingers.
So like a mrig, like a deer.
Like
And
that.
how does this one help?
This is basically whenever there is epilepsy. This is mudra for the epilepsy basically.
So nervous system, it targets the
It is
nerves.
targeting the nervous system.
Very nice. Vajrapalan Mudra.
Vajradam is again also it is a nervous system mudra.
Okay.
All are acting on the brain. So it calm down us. Then it also help reduce the stress, anxiety, depression.
So for autistic children also there are mudras which are very effective.
See, when autism children, whenever we are talking about the children, we have to select very simple mudra. Otherwise, they will not perform. So Jnana Mudra has the same advantage, but it is the simplest mudra.
They can do it very easily. You can make it a game for them. All right. Any other? You want to talk about the Apan Vayu, just a few seconds, acidity?
Upon Vayu Mudra, you place this index finger at the base of thumb, joint tip of middle finger, joint tip of ring finger with the tip of thumb. So this mudra is basically called as either Hriday Mudra also and Mrut Sanjeevani Mudra also. So there are so many advantages of this mudra. Basically in any heart disease, this mudra is a mudra of choice. It improves the pumping of the heart. So that is the reason. So there will be no blockage because once the pumping is improved, there will be less blockage. Second thing, it target on the digestive system, GERD also. Then it has been established that it releases the neurotransmitter like serotonin and dopamine, helps in releasing. So what is happened once the neurotransmitter like serotonin and dopamine are released, then you have the relief from the migraine also. So this is the mudra of choice in migraine, cardiovascular disease. There are so many cardiovascular disease. If anybody has pain in the chest, either because of the gas or heart of the for heart problem, do this mudra. Within 5 to 10 minutes, you will get the result. Your pain will be subside, and if it is problem of the heart attack, you will have sufficient time to visit the medical professional.
To reach a hospital to be able to treat well. Very nice. So this is the pharmacist in you talking now. How this plus mudra can help.
I have already told you, any additional thing, either it is a herbal remedies or Ayurvedic remedies or homeopathic remedy, this will add value to the mudra.
Okay.
So vice versa.
Uh-huh.
Mudra will add value to this acidity relief by this drug, and either acidity relief, this drug will add value to the mudra.
So we just launched our 2 strips. So one strip here is, you can show it. One strip here is acidity relief strip, and the other one is sleep strip, right?
Actually, this I started.
You took one yesterday.
And I have this very sound sleep. Since last 6-8 months, I have problem with my sleep. So after 2-3 hours, I generally get up, and sometimes I am not getting sleep later on. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I get sleep after 1 hour. Mm-hmm. But when I started since last 2 days, I got very good result basically with this.
Great. So this plus a mudra to go to sleep.
Yeah, it will have an advantage in multiple.
Right. So which is the mudra for going to sleep or good sleep?
This mudra is basically Shunya Vayu mudra.
Okay. This one. So you hold this and it's easier to fall asleep, plus the strip, right? And for acidity?
Acidity, there is a Apanva.
Apanva, the one you showed for the heart. Perfect. Any last message, say, to young people, any message that you have for people?
Actually, all should make a part, the protocol of mudra in their daily life. So at least perform this mudra. See, if you are being healthy, it doesn't require to follow the mudra for stipulated time. You can at least follow it for 10 minutes. This will help to be healthier, because see, the health, assets of health is the most important. All other assets like worldly possession, wealth or intelligence comes later on. And I have observed that the modern medical science is targeting the symptoms, not the disease. Means root cause of the disease. And this mudra especially is not targeting the symptoms. It's targeting the root cause. We are balancing. So why not to make the protocols, and which is handy also. And our Rusi says that it is a therapeutic treasure.
Wow.
So why not to use this treasure freely available to us?
And share it with the whole world.
Okay.
Very true.
So I have one question for you. Whenever we give gift to someone, we just wrap it.
Yeah.
Why we wrap it? Because if we give gift as such, then there is no excitement who is receiving us.
What is inside, the discovery, yes.
When we give it with wrapping, there is always excitement. So God has given us so much gift, and God has not given us as such. It is wrapped, so we have to dig out. So Mudra therapy is one of the gift given by the God, which Rusis has dig out, unwrapped there,
and presented it to the world.
and given to the society.
Very nice. So it's been really a journey for so many of us who've been learning from you, because I remember that in the COVID times when Pujya Daaji had invited some of us to explore for the first time with you and with your instructions, learning Mudra Therapy and Medical Astrology, as well as several other ways of exploring the gifts of ancient India, Vedic times, which have been the discoveries of our sages, our rishis. And in modern times, it's really at a risk of vanishing from our lives. So the legacy that we should leave to our children by learning first ourselves and keeping it alive has been something that beloved Daaji has always emphasized, and in small ways and in many big ways. He has insisted, he has shown us the way, and I have seen very often, like not just me, but so many of my colleagues who are already practicing other therapies, he's always insisting that we learn more, that we discover more. And we thank Daaji today, all of us collectively, for bringing you into our lives, because he was the one who insisted that we learn, who shared this inspiration with us, and who told us that, your way of teaching, which is not just scientific, but which has a background in a selfless service to the world, comes together at the right time, because we of course came to you in the COVID times when we learned online, and today we are seeing that you're actually able to visit our campus and teach us. So the way Daaji has been thinking of wellness for humanity, wellness which we have established now in Kanha Shantivanam as part and parcel of our offer to humanity, including awareness and education on health and so many of its aspects. Of course, heartfulness meditation being the base of it. Well, like you said, when a person is mentally feeling well, the heart in its place, the emotions regulated, feeling in a way that, they can find their place in this world, find peace within themselves. So the body, the mind, the spirit, how to harmonize everything and bring it in place. For us, I think Mudra therapy has been a key factor, not just for our lives, because so many of us are witness to its strength, its capacity to bring us back to, a sense of stability. For this, I think Daaji has been really emphasizing the role of Mudra therapy and so many other things like the Gita. We have programs on the Gita Updesh. We have programs on music for children, bringing back the culture of Gurukul into this country, the yoga systems. So for that, I think the Mudra therapy will play a key role, and we thank you for teaching us this.